Hello everyone, my name is Uh-Oh, and today we're going to be doing some more Tropico 4. Previously, we actually started this pretty legit mission to become a European colony, and as you can probably tell, it's actually going fairly well. We don't have a military yet, but I'm assuming eventually we're going to have to build one up for the revolution, which will happen. If the annals of history have anything to say about it, we all know what happens to European colonies, so we got to get ready for that. And we just, I don't know, got to build up this tourist section since that's literally the only economic resource we have access to. I mean, we do have access to other stuff, don't get me wrong, but the import taxes and the export taxes, it's just not worth it. Tourism is our much better alternative. Especially with this island's rich history. Apparently, if I'm remembering this correctly, this island was actually like the worst island in the world or something. Like, no one wanted to go to it. Ships would just purposely avoid it. Maybe it was cursed. I don't know. But we're going to prove them wrong. We're going to prove them wrong. We're going to turn this cursed-ass island into the biggest tourist destination this side of the Caribbean, and it's going to be great. It's going to be even bigger than the hundreds of other tourist destinations we've built by this point. Which, I guess, wouldn't be that much of an accomplishment, given that the tourist destinations we've created so far haven't been that magnificent, but still. I need to get that pub up, because that's apparently our mission. You know, assuming the Tropican workforce ever gets off its lazy ass and does something. Apparently they're all just relaxing over here in their little shanties. I don't know. I don't know what to do with these guys anymore. They literally just... They don't do anything. They just sit over here. I mean, I guess they heard me talking because they did just go to work. But they need me constantly there telling them to do stuff. Like, if I'm not there saying, yo, why aren't you guys doing your shit? They'll just sit up here all day outside Macho Man's palace. Which, I don't know why they think that's a good idea. Macho Man, he lives in that fucking palace. He can see you. And I'm not sure if you've looked at Tropican laws lately, but I'm pretty sure there's a death penalty for not working. Especially if Macho Man himself has ordered you to work, which in the case down here, he most certainly has. And let me tell you, I don't think Macho Man much appreciates people not working when he tells them to. I think that's something that might maybe just make him a bit angry, you know? So, yeah, you might want to consider that. Where should I build the tenements? Because we do have a rising population issue on the island where there's not enough housing. I guess I could build them up here, but then everyone's got to travel down here for work. That could cause problems. I might have to build an economic sector down here, in which case I want to go for the apartments, because I want to trick the tourists into thinking we're actually nice to people. So I need to build some apartment blocks, and I'm going to build them probably along this road here. I'll just build them facing this direction, and it'll be great. I'll build them up one, actually, since there's going to be hotels along that road. I want the hotels to be along the main road, because the hotels are actually... Well, they're where the tourists are, and let's be honest, the tourists are the most important people on this island right now. Fuck the other 100 bastards that live here. How the hell they're managing to run this island at all, I have no idea. I'm not sure if you've seen 100 people. I mean, while that number might sound big, we're talking about an entire fucking island here. 100 people is like the size of a college class. That's nothing. That's like puny small. The fact that they're able to run this island at all, not even educated, might I add, because we don't have schools yet, is kind of astonishing, come to think of it. Speaking of which, I do need to hire people, because we actually don't have any high school educated individuals on our island, which is really telling. The pure affection of El Presidente is enough. There is no need for fraud. We're already in a massive lead in the voting majority down here, so I don't think we'll need to do any bribery.
An article published in the Pravda in Moscow has criticized the housing conditions.
Listen, I'll fix the housing conditions when I fix the housing conditions. I don't need the Middle East, honestly. The USSR is paying us money, and the US is paying us money, so, you know... So long as they're paying me money, they get priority.
Congratulations.
You're goddamn right I won. By this point, I don't even need to focus on the elections. The people know. They know if you don't vote Macho Man, not only will the country go to shit, but you'll go to shit as well. Macho Man doesn't like people who don't vote for him. Those 11 assholes that tried to stand against my regime, better damn believe they're not going to be heard from again in the next election. There'll be 11 other assholes. What is this? Is this a quest?
I have a plan, Presidente. A really good plan.
Oh, what?
Once we anger the USA, Europe will be more inclined to step in and protect us.
No, I don't think this is a good idea. Printing money... I mean, in concept, it sounds good. The U.S. government's been doing it for years. But in practice, it's probably one of the worst things a country can do. The economic issues risen by that alone would be, well, devastating. I mean, even the extra $30,000 they'd give us to compensate wouldn't be worth the inflation, which would increase the prices of all of my buildings. Speaking of which, it's taking literally decades to build this crap. Come on, guys! Do I have to stand over you again? What are you doing? Oh, no. No, you go back there. Get back. Get back to your workplace right now. I don't care about your baby. You're going back to work. Also, is she like an old lady or something? She's only 25 years old, and she's like waddling around like an old lady. What the fuck? Damn, maybe healthcare on this island is bad. Okay, well, I don't know how. I mean, we've got this beautiful preventative medicine thing over here, but maybe she can't be that bad off. I mean, she's walking literally all the way over there. I mean, she could just take a car from this thing over here. So she can't be that bad off. Maybe she's trying to get her exercise. Maybe it's actually been prescribed to her. Maybe she went to the clinic, it's like, you know what, you need to do some jogging. Do some jogging, get down here like that, you know, work those muscles a bit. I mean, she's only 25, so she's not old enough where that'll be that big of an issue, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tropico age might actually be a lot different from real life age. We have to remember that this is a third world country, so 25 years old might be pretty old. And given the state of the Tropican Islands so far, I'd say that's probably very accurate. I'm going to actually issue a new edict to help our people out. I'm going to issue free housing for everyone, because I think we are making enough money. We don't need to pay for housing anymore. And then we can get people to move into our glorious apartment buildings, which have been put up here just to trick the tourists into thinking we treat everyone equally when we don't. Build a ranch. No, there's no reason for me to do that, unless the communists are really angry at us, which they really shouldn't be. And there isn't. Okay, sweet. The loyalists are angry, but that's just because we don't have a childhood museum, which needs to go up, you construction working bastards. Get down there! What are these guys doing? What is this guy doing? He's just going into the forest. Are you gathering wood for the construction project? You know, I thought maybe your company would provide that.
Some Colombian barons.
Okay, so now we need to fix the military, and I actually do agree with this. I think this is probably a good idea to get our army a little bit larger. I mean, while we're not openly rebelling against Europe yet, God knows we're eventually going to, so I'm going to actually start building that immediately. We're going to need an army to hold these bastards off. I mean, it's not like we're going to arm the citizenship. We're not that kind of European colony. We're not going to arm our people for war. That'd be ridiculous. You get the people a gun, they're just going to turn on the Macho Man. Now, they won't succeed, mind you, but I'd rather not take the risk anyway. So we're just going to arm our military and then pose it in the guise of a actual revolution. We'll dress our soldiers up as Tropican citizens when they're actually just, you know, armed thugs in the pockets of Macho Man. And we'll just make it look like a actual revolution to the rest of the world when it's really just Macho Man consolidating his power. I mean, that's all the revolution is anyway, is the consolation of power. I'm going to build another one of these, actually, another apartment block, because I think it's probably a good idea. You know, get a good impression on these tourists. I mean, you're going to always have some of those activistic tourists that arrive on the island, and they're like, oh, look at the way they treat these people, and they post negative reviews on, I don't know, Yelp or Travelocity or whatever fucking website you post reviews on. I have no idea. I never use them. They're going to go on there and be like, oh, they treat the people here so bad. Well, we can prevent those reviews by building these apartments, and it's a good idea. And it also, I guess, will help with some of the happiness. We're sitting nice and pretty at 50%, but if that goes below 50%, we might have a few problems. Speaking of which, I do actually need to bring in some high school males here who actually take care of the religious people, because apparently our school system here isn't good enough. to handle high school. I mean, we have, look at all these kids. Look at all, we got a fucking grade school, but apparently we can't run our high school. That's kind of, I'm going to have to hire even more. And it's pretty expensive to hire these foreign experts, which is, I guess, unfortunate. But once this high school is up, we'll be able to siphon, you know, foreign experts from our own population. Only they'll be national experts, not foreigners. You know, Macho Man might take a harsh stance on immigration when immigration doesn't beset him. But as soon as it's useful, you're goddamn right, he's right up there. He's like literally at the gates welcoming the experts on the island. He's like shaking their hands, giving them a good impression of the land. You know, making them think that they've come to a good place. You know, like, because while they're still on the docks, there's still a chance they could run off to the boat and try to escape again. And while we could just track them down with our non-existent navy, I'd rather them, you know, get onto the island a bit, you know, think they're in a good place, and then when they go home, or they think they're going home to, like, I don't know, a fake palace or mansion that we've built, we drug them and we drag them to the shanties and chain them there. And then, you know, they can't escape. It's perfect. Also, why are all the school teachers going to the clinic? You should be at work. I don't care about your fucking medication. Okay. Thank God. I thought I was trying to click on the high school, and I thought I actually clicked on the high school and saw these two people enrolled. I was like, what the hell is going on this island? Is that even possible? Can you have, like, how old can you be in a high school? Like, is there, like, an age restriction? I imagine there has to be. Like, once you're, like, 25 or 20 years old or something, you can't go anymore. But, or is there? I mean, it's supposed to be free education for all. That's a tough one. What is this stuff? I forgot we actually finished building this thing. I don't want people to become nationalists. Militarists, no. Loyalists, I guess, kind of. Thing is, loyalists aren't really that loyal. They keep making ludicrous demands and expecting us to fill them out. So they're not really true loyalists. They're more like fake loyalists. So I don't really need them either. Receive an increase of foreign aid by 1,000 for both super. Taking it. That's worth a lot of money. I'm definitely taking that.
Old chap, do you really think that having one hub is sufficient?
Okay, so we have to build houses. I was just saying last mission how building houses is not going to happen on Tropico. But no, as it turns out it actually is, because these European bastards, they want to live in a fucking house. Well, you know what? You know what? I'll oblige their request. I'll let them live in a house right here by the shanties so that they can overlook the people of the island that they're ruling over. They can see them living in these miserable sacks. And it's also, you know, they might think that's a good thing. I mean, it's very possible these administrators will all be like, oh yes, we have these front row seats to watch our man-slaves work. They might be thinking that, but what they don't realize is the real reason that they're here. Because Macho Man Gordon's palace is right there. Every day they're going to step outside, they're going to see Macho Man's palace. They're going to know. They're going to know he's the man in charge here. You're living here by his good graces. I don't care what kind of administrator you are. You're here because of him. And if he wants you dead, if he wants to tear down your house, well, fuck it. I'll just put like a bulldozer right there. I'll just put a bulldozer in front of the palace so they know. They know. If they fuck up, their house is gone. And right into the shanties they go. Also, get out of this house. This is for the administrators, not you crappy Tropican scumbags. Seriously, trying to steal the administrator's house. Don't you know the only people we care about on this island are foreigners? Speaking of foreigners, I could actually probably use, not a new hotel, but maybe some more attractions. That'd be probably pretty nice. Do we have an ethnic enclave yet? No, we don't. So I'm going to shove the ethnic enclave right here behind the school, right behind the primary school here. And, you know, it actually works out because, you know, kids, they like to role play a bit. They like to play Native Americans, I guess Native Tropicans in this case. You know, they do all that kind of theatrical stuff. We can just, you know, siphon all that stuff off into the ethnic enclave and have the kids act like the villagers, and then we get paid money, they don't get paid shit, and the tourists don't think it's child labor because they'll think it's an actual tribe on the island. They won't see the shackles and chains and whips that we have waiting for them on the other side here in the school, so it works out really well. Okay, I think that's a good idea. And well, for whatever student doesn't want to, you know, act act in front of the tourists, they can create all of the stuff for the souvenir shop, all the t-shirts, they can do all that stuff. It's great. It's going to be great. See, I'm already doing better than most third world countries as it is. Like, see, most third world countries don't consider the fact that child labor makes you look back to the rest of the world. They don't even consider it. They don't consider how it tarnishes your name. They don't consider that at all. Macho Man Gordon, he considers it as very important. He wants his name to look good, even though it's actually not.